Hi, I'm Gila Nehemia, Sacred Erotic Love Mentor, Poet, and Author, and it's Collaboration Thursday on 12/12. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm here with Lisa Karasek, and she's a healer that I met through a friend of mine, and we just instantly connected. And I had to invite her in. And so, as you know, these Collaboration Thursdays are about sharing healing with authors, healers, anyone that's really into higher consciousness and ascension. Because my intention is that the more that we can share with each other, the more that we're going to activate each other. And if somebody resonates with you, I would love for you to, I invite you to connect with them, because we are here to help each other to walk into higher consciousness, to really just get into the ideas of who we really are. But I won't go into it any further. I want to introduce Lisa. I was going on another tangent. So Lisa, okay. Please give us a little bio about yourself.
Oh, a little bio. Well, thank you so much, Gila. I cannot express enough gratitude for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And it is very nice to meet you all. Thank you. So yeah, my name is Lisa. I'm here in the United States. I'm in Maryland, and I call myself a quantum healer. So what I really do is I bring about spiritual and energetic transformation through mind, body, spirit guidance. I am a quantum healer, and I offer a couple of different types of healing modalities. I bring in angelic energies, and I use consciousness-based practices. I am an ordained priest, and then I use other different skills and talents and certifications and whatnot to guide you through, your healing and your process, and hold your hand on your journey and support you in every way that I possibly can. And it is all definitely geared towards your ascension process.
Fantastic. I love it. And I wanted, since you are so connected spiritually, well, I believe that all of us are, but we're just kind of on different paths of that journey. I wanted this session to be a lot about what's going on with the energy. So what do you feel is coming forth in this particular 12/12 portal?
For me personally, or for like the collective?
Both. You could start with yourself, and then you can move into the collective. And I will also add after you speak.
Okay, well, I was actually going to go the other way, if that's okay.
Okay,
just because I've been, like everyone else, I'm following my Facebook feed. I'm following all of the information. I'm following, what everybody else is saying. I'm talking to my healer friends. I'm connecting with people in my sessions. And, what seems to be coming up with this particular one is a lot of solar plexus activity, which has to do with, not just our wants and desires, but like who we are, especially here in the 3D realm, and what our purpose is and what we should be. My tagline for my business is, because everyone deserves an authentic self-relationship. And the solar plexus directly speaks to that. So if you're not in alignment with your purpose and what you're meant to do and who you're supposed to be here on earth, then things aren't feeling right. And so many people right now are, I'm hearing reports and I'm reading all kinds of, I'm having all this relationship stuff come up, or I'm finding that I'm arguing with people and I don't know why, or I'm having trouble at work and I'm getting trouble at work because I keep saying things that I shouldn't be saying, and I'm being targeted as, I'm protesting, or, so all these things are coming up that's challenging people's issues around who they're meant to be. And for me, I'm having a sort of different sort of experience, if you will. I was thinking about this morning because I knew we were going to be talking about this. For me personally, I have been doing so much of my own shadow work. I have been, healing myself, not only what I'm doing this lifetime, but also all of my other past lifetimes, who I am in all of my other realms. I don't know how far you go into it, but I am a believer that there is no past, present, and future. Everything is the experience right now. And what people say and consider to be their past lives influences what we're doing now. And what we're doing now affects the choices that we make about our future selves. So there's a part of that that's very true, but there's also a part of that that I firmly believe in, that we are all going in different dimensions and in different realms all the time. And they definitely influence and infect each other, but I am so in tune with my higher self, and I have done so much healing that me personally for this one, I'm not really struggling in that way. And my mission is to help people struggling overcome that which is not necessary. And I feel I can call myself an expert in this, and that's why I offer guidance sessions, if you will, is because I really feel like I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not, I'm still here. So, but I've definitely come a long way. I've done so much, and I can at least get you to where I'm at. And I'm just not feeling, I'm having weird things come up for sure. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely being affected. I'm feeling the energy very strongly, but I'm not having those reactive reflexes that we're all so used to. I'm definitely at a point where I'm more in action phase. I'm doing things that are moving me forward. I'm connecting with my higher self, the self that has already been here. And I'm tapping into her, and I'm asking her questions, and I'm dropping in and feeling to what it is, what it feels like to be where I want to be going. And I'm making sure that my outcome and what I want to manifest is happening for me. And I'm living without struggle for the most part. I definitely get my triggers. I definitely still get my daily dose of triggers and frustrations and whatnot, but it's how I manage them that's different. And so I don't feel the need to be out there complaining and venting to people and being reactive to everything. And I think that's the difference. And what this 1212 portal is about is that, I feel like. So I feel like I'm in a good place, but there are so many others out there who aren't where I'm at yet. And I just, talk to me. That's why I'm here.
Fantastic. Yeah, I agree. I too have been in a very deep dive journey for many years, but primarily the last couple of years. And this portal, also what I'm reading is like it's a really big release of anything that isn't serving you. It's like the last remnants of things that may not be working out, and really fully letting them go. And for me
exactly.
personally, I've experienced that. I've experienced every single time there's a portal, I'm like, okay, I'm going to let it go. And I couldn't, I had a lot of fear, but for the very first time in my life, I don't have fear, I'm so
Good.
sure, really, I'm so sure. I have obviously been listening to the signs. I've been really, paying attention to what's going on and seeing, trusting the, there are things that I've been working on for a very long time, and so I am actually seeing them manifest in the way that I want them to, not exactly control, but allowing them to totally come to fruition, which before I was scared, and it was like, would trigger me, and I'd be like, I'd run away, I play those games and our self-sabotage, so that might be resonating with some of the people who are watching us. But, I think for the first time for me personally, and I feel also for the collective people who are following me, that we are just truly walking in, allowing ourselves to walk in to our full abundance, to connecting to our higher self, just like you said, in whatever shape or form that could be. For some, it could be the first step. For others, it could be if there are steps, whatever that is.
Right.
But I loved how you said that, and this is part of the series, right? Of course, that, we are here to help each other. It's a collective experience. And I just want to stress that, because I feel like this portal is also stressing that. that we are here together. It's not a competition. It's not about anything but being there for each other.
Well, it's a different level of awareness. People are surviving because they're having to do for themselves, and they're having to figure it out for themselves. And you can only concentrate on yourself anyway. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what we're told from very young, at the end of the day, all that matters is how you feel and what you did for yourself today and what you accomplished and how your production was that day. And it's true. But so, okay, I give a couple of different examples, and feel free to rein me in because I can get off on these tangents and have trouble circling back in. But so Mother Earth, imagine Gaia as a true goddess, as someone, as a human like we are here on Earth. If you could think of her as her own person, what she's doing right now is she is purging. She is cleaning up her environment, right? She is getting rid of the people in her life that are toxic, that aren't treating her well, that don't treat her well. She is cleaning up. She is attracting and manifesting good for herself to raise her vibration. And as she cleans her environment up, her vibration, her field, it's affecting us. And yes, we are each individuals here on Earth doing our thing, but we are one. And as each of us does our work, does our part, because we're all connected, what we're doing is raising the vibration of the collective, which in turn is raising the vibration of the Earth. So we are one with the Earth, and we're all raising together. And so all this complaining and everything, like you said, it's what the complaining is about is what's not serving us. We're frustrated with how things are. We're longing to be out of survival mode. And we're cleaning up.
Yes.
We're moving into the more feminine way of doing things, more nurturing way of doing things. We're taking care of ourselves. We are one.
Right. I completely agree. And I want to say a few words about the survival, because I know, I deal with the chakras, and the survival is the root chakra. And part of that is I know for myself, even I have been through a lot of challenges, and I finally realized, it's all about the way you think about it. Because if you think you're surviving, then that's what you're going to do. You're just going to survive. But when you can just believe, even if it's just grateful that you have a roof over your head, or even if you're in a shelter, wherever you are, you can change it by your thought.
Exactly. Mindset, perception.
Right. And
I'll tell you. Oh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, just one last thing. We can say we understand it, but until we actually believe it, and that's the thing that switched for me recently. I believed and I felt it. I've been thinking about it for so long, since the summer. People have been telling me that. I was like, I could do with love. I know how to do with love, but abundance was a little more challenging for me for the first time. I mean, it's been building, but I finally was like, yes. It was just a calmness. There's nothing to stress about. Nothing.
Right. Every experience is, let me get this right. Let me get the word. Every is a, oh my God, I can't think of the word. Coincidence? No, that's not the right word. It's a C word. I know that. I can't think of the word, but anyway, along the lines of everything is temporary. But so it's a matter of perception. It's a matter of, so when I almost interrupted you, what I was going to start to tell you is, a little bit of my story. So why do I do what I do?
Yes.
Why am I so passionate about, so my history that I know it is I used to refer to myself as a victim of domestic abuse. And so I had to hit rock bottom as a victim to climb up and become the person that I am. And so that whole victimhood mentality for me, it was so strong. And what I learned this lifetime and what I'm supposed to be overcoming, what I've been focusing all of my healing energy on, is self-love. So when you think, well, when you're a victim, stuff happens to you, but based on, all of my choices through all of my lifetimes, all of my dimensions, I was self-sabotaging. It was a matter of changing my mindset, changing my perception, what I was attracting, what I was manifesting. I'm not responsible for being a victim. No, shit happened to me. But my way of looking at it and dealing with it and thinking about it and how I treated myself and thought about myself and what I thought my worth was attracting the lower vibrational, the lower frequencies. And so as I raised my personal vibration, I've been able to step out of and overcome victimhood. Totally. So, yeah.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
thank you. Thank you for sharing. No, there's so many, because I too, we share that. I too was in domestic violence, and and I finally say I was in a domestic violence situation. No longer
Exactly.
call myself a victim. That was
Right.
however I decided to perceive it. That's I do not say that for anybody else or ask you to say
No.
that. Everyone can define.
Language is so important.
Right.
I no longer say my abuser. I say the person who chose to try to abuse me. Right.
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
And even just recently, I was talking about this person and, to a friend of mine. And I recalled a really beautiful thing that he had done for me, because it wasn't all bad. And it's just portions of it, at least for me, were not what I would have liked. And I didn't allow myself to leave. I didn't take the opportunity when I could have. But regardless, everything I feel happened divinely. That's how I feel for myself.
Because I wouldn't have understood what I know now where I was.
Right.
I would have never understood this level.
Right.
So I had to know how to feel that.
Right. Right. And personally, I felt like I did have opportunities to have, amazing relationships, but I didn't take them because, like you said before, or we were both saying, like, I self-sabotage them, because I was like, well, I can't do that. But now I realize I can do anything.
Exactly. And so going back to what you were saying, it's all about mindset. It's all about perception. When you see yourself differently, when you go through the healing process, your mindset does shift. Your perception of how you do life does shift. Your choices change. Your awareness is a total game changer. So the healing is so critical. We all are in, I don't want to use the word desperate, but we really need a lot of healing. Our history, everything that we've been through as a culture, as a society, as being in the United States. I just came out of a presentation actually, where I'm hosting a fundraiser with some fellow practitioners where I work. We're doing a fundraiser for raising awareness about human trafficking. And did you know that every human trafficker out there that is the word they use would be pimp, around the globe, I think the statistic was 90 something plus % of the traffickers are US males. So all of this corruption, so for me to be in the US and to hear that, so awareness.
Yeah, it's staggering. Staggering. I mean, it just is.
Right. So, but we're moving away from, that toxic way of, manipulation and unworthiness. And we're right now, individuals like yourself, me, other healers out there, other light workers who are doing, in service for the highest good, not just for ourselves, but for the highest good. Because like I was saying, we're all one, we're all connected. When I raise myself, I'm raising the collective. I'm raising the vibration of as a whole for the globe, for the entire metaphysical realm that we're in. So again, I'm off on a tangent. I lost my place. Rein me back in.
We're talking about human trafficking, about your presentation.
Oh, okay. So healing, the healing we're at such a critical point. Moving forward, why we need to do it. Why do people tell me all the time, well, I can handle this myself, or, oh, I do yoga to embody, and I ground myself with yoga, and I walk my dog, and I make sure I think, and I make sure I meditate, and I see a counselor. But the energetic work as a quantum healer, doing actual energy sessions, Reiki, and, quantum touch, and I do holistic metamorphosis is what I'm certified in. All of those energetic modalities, the angelic energies and whatnot that you actually it's a whole different level. And until you really experience it, um, and that's, yeah, there's nothing wrong with talking to counselors and doing the self work and doing the shadow work and, you know, all of that, using tapping, EFT, EMDR, you know, they're all fabulous. I also teach tension and trauma releasing exercises. So, you know, they're all great modalities, but you can't limit yourself to one. You have to be open. You should be. And I don't want to should people either. Let me think. So everyone should be taking advantage of everything that is available to them. And why not try energy work? It's, what is it going to hurt to try, you know? But real transformation happens when you really start clearing the energy, the stored energy from all of your lifetime's timelines and dimensions. And that's where the real work is happening now, I believe. And that's what's really creating this big shift. And so again, going back to this 1212 portal, it's important that we raise the awareness for this multidimensional healing.
Yes.
Because it's the game changer, in my opinion.
Right. No, I totally agree with you, you know, and I want to you know, just reiterate that is so true. I mean, the work that we're doing and many of our colleagues are doing is focusing on helping ourselves as well as you. I feel like all of our journeys are interlinked, you know, like we're interdependent. I know I've said this in other videos, but I do believe this really
Yes.
in my heart, that Lisa and I were talking here because this was meant to happen. You know, we really, I mean, we are activating each other as well as activating you. I mean,
yes.
it's part of of our everyday life. You know, and I was actually just thinking about it because I'm glad you mentioned human trafficking, because today I was talking to somebody the other day, and today we were talking about like colonialism with somebody who lives in Ireland, and my parents are from India, you know, and you know the British Empire was humongous, and I was just thinking about it, you know, for a few minutes, I just thought about, okay, some people say to me they didn't have any trauma. And I personally believe everybody has trauma. You know, I mean, and I don't think of it as bad. I really don't say it's bad.
No.
I just think
everybody has their own definition of trauma. When I lead my TRE classes, I have everybody define and share with the group. Some do, some don't, and I totally respect that. Not everybody wants to share what they believe trauma, but we all have our own definitions of everything. Again, going back to that mindset, right? Going back to that perception. So, but this is an example that I like to use at the beginning of every class, especially for someone who's never been to a class before. So you stub your toe. That piece of furniture has been there for 10 years and you have walked around it perfectly fine every day of 10 years, except this morning you were a little distracted. Who knows, whatever happened. The universe, you know, made you walk into that piece of furniture and stub your toe. But for the next couple of days, it's traumatizing because every time you need to put your sock on or put your shoe on, or every time you take a step, not only are you feeling the physical pain from the physical trauma, and the tissue is trauma, it becomes bruised, it becomes inflamed. So you have actual physical trauma. But then for a couple of days, every time you feel that pain, you emotionally ruminate about it. You constantly complain. You're reminded every time with every step of that pain. So it becomes an emotional component of your being for a while. So that is trauma. Something as simple as stubbing your toe is trauma.
Right.
So when you take something, an example like that, and then you take something really horrific, like domestic abuse, or should we go even further and say, you know, rape and being sold into slavery and, you know, that kind of trauma that accumulates, you know, I mean, and then we're talking, like I said, all timelines, all lifetimes, all dimensions, all of our ancestral lines. I mean, it's, you don't want to wrap your brain around it. It's too much, but it may not be yours, but it's your responsibility to heal, to raise the collective, to get Mother Gaia and us to where we want to go, to where we want to be, which is in a more nurturing, more loving state of being.
Yes, I completely agree. And I love that example. I think it really brings it home because, you know, that happens to all of us at some point in our life or to our children. Mm-hmm. And I want to say that as well. You know, some of our viewers might have children like I do. And and I feel personally, I felt it was my responsibility for my children that I do the healing. That was what actually made me take the leap of faith, because I realized,
Beautiful.
I mean, it was because of my relationships, you know, I was bringing different people into my life, but it was obviously bringing them into their life too. It wasn't just me. And so when I realized that this is not something I just need to do, like meet the right person, you know, partner, it was about us, our unit healing so that we can actually live our full potential. That's what my mission is that, you know, when I began to transform from an activation with someone, I realized there was so much untapped potential that I wasn't using. And, you know, all of us have it. But when I was able to help people, like actually decided to start my business and help clients, and I saw them like beginning to live their life purpose and letting go of so much emotional pain, I was like, okay, each of us have this gift that only we can do, because that's our energy signature. And
Yes.
I feel like you said, it's our responsibility to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
without
And it's a
us,
beautiful gift.
right.
Yeah. So another hat that I wear is eating psychology coaching. So this is how it all started. I dabbled in intuitive work, and I heard about energy healing, and I hadn't really started energy healing yet. Even just as a client, I hadn't even gone down that road yet. But I started off as an eating psychology coach. Nutrition has always been my thing. And what I quickly learned was, you know, people hold weight not because of what they eat. What your body image and your weight, or, you know, anything like that, has about this much to do with the food you eat, and this much to do with your mindset, with your psychology of it. And then as I got into intuition and started doing mediumship work and healing, and I started not only receiving healing, but I became an energy worker, healer, you know, practitioner, facilitator in healing, whatever you want to call me. Like I said, the titles confuse me, but, you know, what I quickly learned is I started having people come up to me and saying, I deal with irritable bowel syndrome, but I know it's not mine because my grandmother had it. And, you know, all the women in my family struggle from it, and I'm stuck with the symptoms. So it's mine to heal. And that particular woman, who totally just randomly walked up to me on the street, I didn't even know her from anybody. She just heard that I was a eating psychology coach. And that's when I all of a sudden was like, oh my God, this is all starting to make some sense, you know? And I realized, yeah, weight is holding. So what are we holding energetically? And so again, I'm going off on a tangent. I have like about 87 things that I'm trying to get out in one. So bear with me. But so yeah, we're carrying, it's our responsibility. It's not just a responsibility, but it's also a gift, but it is a responsibility, especially if you're ready to break the cycle. If you're frustrated with all this crap that's happening, if you're ready to break the cycle and you want to take it on as your responsibility, think of it as a gift that you're giving to your ancestors and your family, all the women in your family, men in your, whoever. It's not just a disease, illness that affects women. It affects all, you know, men and women alike, children, all the shaming, I mean, I can go on forever, but, you know, it affects us all, but it is multidimensional healing that takes place. And if you're ready to break the cycle, then, you know, so what I then quickly learned is, as an eating psychology coach, and as I started moving into the more healing modalities, that it's not just about your relationship with food. And then it's also not just about your relationship with eating, which, by the way, is your longest relationship in life. And that relationship mirrors how you do all of your relationships in life. I quickly realized that I'm not just an eating psychology coach, I'm a relationship coach. And so, and then I put the multidimensional spin on it. And as I started working with my TRE students, tension and trauma releasing students, and I began to see the energy that they were actually releasing, and I started applying healing energy to them while they were releasing, I realized that I was healing dimensions, multi-timelines, multi-lifetimes. And the power in that is unreal. And I'm not saying all this to brag about what I do, but I want to raise people's awareness that that is what they're doing. That's what they're choosing to do when they step into working with a coach or a light worker and they say, you know, I want healing. When you have all these complaints, you have to look at it from all of these different perspectives, all of your relationships, your lifestyle choices, how you do life, how you be, act, and live in the world. And again, I'm losing myself. Bring me back in.
Yeah, no,
I get very passionate and caught up.
I think it's true, and I wanted to just highlight the eating for a moment. That, you know, eating is really important because it's not just about, you know, what you choose to eat, but it's also how you are. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought too, but you know, it's like we just turned vegan, for example, and my son had a lot of problems eating for a long time, and he made that choice. You know, he consciously made that choice, but when he made that choice, suddenly I saw him eating a lot better, and like I realized it was affecting his whole mood, his confidence, everything. And so, you know, what we put in our mouths, who we choose to connect with, how we decide to show up, all of those are super important. And I feel like this portal is bringing all of that to light. I feel like, you know, what you're not going on a tangent. You're actually talking about things that are really about helping people and helping ourselves. And that's what I feel this portal is really highlighting. How are you going to heal yourself now? Are you going to step into your power or not? This is your chance to really make this year, this coming year that's coming up. It's huge.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Yes, it's so important. And the awareness is there. People just have to feel it and step into it, be open to step into it and open to be, you know, receptive to what is coming their way, and let us help each other and help each other.
Yes, really. I mean, for the sake of humanity, you know, now I'm not even taking on a lot of clients, to be quite honest with you. I am, you know, I'm taking clients as they come in, and I'm really just balancing all of my professional life, you know, my spiritual life. I'm really into that balance personally. But I feel like this is about balance. It's about us. It's no longer this, you know, one or the other. When we become balanced, we become aligned.
Exactly. Aligned and harmonious.
Right.
And that's what we are in. Again, I don't want to use the word desperate, but it's what we need. It's it's what's calling, you know, tugging on our heartstrings. It's what we really need.
Right.
We've been without it for so long.
Yes. So, yes, we have, you know, and those of you who are in divine partnerships or sacred unions, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about balance. You know, the reason why it may not have been balanced for many, many years or times or even lifetimes, timelines, is because of the healing that was needed, you know, the kind of oppression that we were going through that we just didn't understand. But now we have a consciousness that we can activate even on our own once we have the tools that I think Lisa and I are offering to anyone who's interested, but as well as other healers.
Right.
So we are just asking, I feel like we're asking people to step into their divinity.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
And it's a very powerful place to be because, you know, as you step in, you're still healing. We're all healing, I feel, all the time. But the more you realize how powerful you are, you know, Marianne Williamson says this, and I say it a lot, but scariest place is to kind of realize, and I'm paraphrasing, like, it's scary to realize how powerful you are. It really is.
It can be, yeah. But it also, again, it's about mindset. As long as you don't let that scare you, as long as that's not a fear of yours, then it can be a beautiful gift for yourself and for others.
Right.
It's selfish to not share your true self, your authentic self with the world.
Yes, I agree. And you know, Laura, who I'm going to be interviewing soon, but who brought us together, she kind of said, I think, fear is your compass. I think she told me that when I was mentoring with her. And
Mm-hmm.
and it
She
is
does say that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Purpose-driven fear. Yeah.
it really does, because it's like the other side, you know. Part of my mission, or my biggest mission, is that, you know, we choose love over fear. And, you know, and I feel like we're both agreeing upon that. It's like, it's, you choose love of yourself over fear of the old patterns, you know, playing itself out again, you know.
Right.
Just no,
Right.
it won't, it's
Yeah,
not.
and we get stuck in these patterns because it's a comfort zone, right? But that's why we complain. And that's why we're hearing all this stuff, you know, is coming up. Well, things kind of keep slapping you in the face until you hear them, you know. So we're all complaining right now. This portal, these couple of weeks, you know, it started last week, about, I would say, maybe 9 days ago, and we're gonna feel the effects of this portal into January. But it's in our faces right now because it's desperately in need of healing. And that's with any energy work, and not just this portal, but anytime anyone ever comes for a session, what comes up is what's ready to be healed that day. So it could be anything, but they do tend to run in themes. You know, anybody who's ever followed astrology, how you don't even have to follow it. Everybody's heard of it. Everybody kind of knows what it is, but you know that it's a guideline of sorts for what the energy is. And again, we're all one. And so we all feel the effects of that energy. So we all feel the tug and pull, the ebb and flow of the astrological energy. And so as light workers, we tend to follow these trends. And the collective, you know, there's right now, we're all feeling the solar plexus, like we said. We all tend to feel the heart. We all tend to, so that's what's coming up right now. It's what we're working on.
Yes, I agree, and thank you for sharing that. We're almost going to close soon, but I wanted to just I wanted to share that if Lisa is resonating with you, I recommend that you do connect with her, and if you can tell us how people can connect with you, and any kind of thing, any kind of offering that you have currently, please share as before we end shortly.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, my website is www.lk, as in Lisa Karasek, -cepc.com, and that stands for Certified Eating Psychology Coach. Like I mentioned, that was my first certification, and that's where I thought I was going to go, and you know, that became it. So it's a funny website, but once you understand, you know, where it's coming from, it makes more sense. So, but across the board, the LKCEPC. So it's my website, it's my Facebook page, it's my email address, it's my, you know, just look up the LK, either dat or dash CEPC, and you'll find me. So, and then I do Facebook. I have 2 professional pages, and then I have a group for healers on there. And then where else? I'm not really on too much else because I do a lot of talking. I don't do Instagram. I can't figure Twitter out. I know that's funny, but so yeah, I'm pretty much just on Facebook and my own blog. So when you go to my website though, that's where my blog is. And I do work, locally. I teach classes, but you can, for my eating psychology coaching classes, I do group coaching. So you can tune into them virtually. So you can be anywhere in the world to do those. But the theory, because it involves healing and you never know how someone is going to respond, I do encourage people to only do that locally and in person. But if you're looking for someone who does that, because it is a global certification, you can go to their website and find, you know, a facilitator in where you live, and if you want, I can give you that information. It's traumaprevention.com. But I do individual guidance sessions. I have clients all over the world. I have clients in China, Canada, where some of the others. You're in Israel. I have, you know, I have people all over the U.S. So I don't only see people in person. I do what is this called? Video conferencing online with clients anywhere.
Perfect.
So,
and you don't have to remember any of the sites that you said. I will put that in the details of the video. So not to worry. And yes,
Thank
feel
you.
free to communicate directly with Lisa if anything that she said piqued your interest, or if you just need more information. I've actually recently, just to tell our viewers, I've actually recently been getting into, there's actually a lot of Facebook groups that have some free mentoring. And because I'm just really open to helping on any level, I've been starting to do that, and it's been great because actually people are looking to be helped. And you know, there's only so far you can go because you know it takes deep work. I believe deep inner work that you must need a commitment for. But I have been starting to work with different people in that as well. So I think that it also is showing that people are willing to begin the process of opening themselves up, which I think is some of the most challenging times sometimes for us to move into.
Right, because it's something we're not familiar, and we don't know how to do it by ourselves every time. So it's good to have someone help you along the way, guide you along the way.
Yes, yes. Sorry, there's something going on over here, but I didn't realize, so I apologize. So but I do want to bring this to a close now, because there is something going to start, and I don't want to interrupt the end of our interview. So I wanted to thank you, Lisa, for spending time with me and to share your gifts with us, and all of your openness to really help people to ascend to a different level of themselves, you know, and I really do believe that everything that you shared with us had a lot of concreteness to it. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. And thank you everyone for listening.
Yes, thank you all of you for listening, and sending you so much love and light on this very, very powerful full moon 12/12 portal. Again, connect with us individually. All of the information will be in the details, and be sure to release today. Big release. Write it down, burn it, whatever moves your soul. But really, I encourage you, like we talked about today, to just let go of the patterns.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. So much love to you.
Namaste.
Namaste.